Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I was just debriefing with Josh after the recording, and we were talking about a rather important point that we could have expanded on a bit. So we're just going to do this as a standalone point, which is that when people talk about change, one thing is what they say, and the other one is what they see. That's the point you were making now, Josh.
100%. So if someone is making genuine, real changes in their personality and their way of behaving, you'll be able to see it with your eyes. You don't need to be convinced by them or other people with, verbal encouragements. So that really takes away the need to have hope in a relationship. If you have hope in a relationship, it means that they're not changing. Because if you were seeing the genuine changes with your eyes, you wouldn't have a need to feel any hope or to be convinced by statements like, no, I'm really getting better. I'm trying my best. Or other people saying, Fred, they're really trying their best in therapy. They're getting better. Just hold on a bit longer. So there's no need to really say it if it's really happening, because it's definitely best to go off what your eyes can see rather off what you can hear.
This makes me think it's like if somebody is trying to lose weight, they can say they're trying their best. What matters is, are you losing weight? Is it working? Is your strategy working? If it is working, great, but then we see it. If it isn't working, what are you going to change? Because clearly your strategy is not working. When we focus on the effort people put in, this completely sidesteps whether or not it's effective. So somebody can put a lot of effort into trying to push a house across a park. The likelihood of them succeeding is nil. But if you focus on, but they're trying really hard, in that case, you're condoning the fact that they're not succeeding. You're encouraging them to not succeed, and it's not really helping. I understand, when we talk to infants, we think, well, the likelihood of them being successful is small, so let's just encourage the effort. But at the same time, if we deal with adults and we respect adults, then giving them the feedback that what you're doing isn't working is rather important, because otherwise we're polluting the system. We're lying to them. We want to avoid hurting their feelings, so we're lying to them. That doesn't help them, and it doesn't help us. That's with the weight. And the other thing that I was thinking of when you mentioned this is we can see the change in how they act, but I think a really important indicator is, do we see the change in how we feel? Because they might be changing, but if we still feel like crap, then we feel like crap. If we assess how we feel between, let's say, -10 and +10, I've got a scale I'll share in another video. Honeymoon phase, we tend to go up to 10, but maybe before we're at 8, then we crash down to -10. If they're changing, but we still feel that we're like -8, -9, -10, then their change is not doing us a lot of good. So if they don't change, things won't improve. But even if they do change, it doesn't mean it's good enough.
100%. And the other thing I wanted to add on top of that is that taking accountability for a person to take accountability for themselves, and for a person to provide a little bit of understanding, compassion, and empathy, doesn't take a lot of effort to do it. In fact, to take accountability takes about 10 seconds. To provide some emotional understanding and empathy also takes about 10 or 15 seconds, right? How hard is it to say to someone, I understand that you're feeling hurt from my behavior, and it's valid what you're feeling, and I take full accountability for what I did and what I said.
Yeah.
There's 10 seconds of effort. So for a person to not be doing this, but yet to be telling you that, no, I'm trying my best, I'm working on getting better, and I'm doing everything that I can, and excuse, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of talking for something that takes 10 seconds to do. The real question is, do they want to do it?
Yes.
And are they willing to do it at whatever cost that it takes? Because, this is all people really want, is for the other person to just take accountability for yourself. That's it, which takes 10 seconds. Like, hey, just letting you know what I said before. I was having some strong emotions, and I take full accountability for what I said and what I did. It wasn't personal to you. It was just the way I expressed my emotions, which wasn't correct. And I owned that. Okay. How long did that take? 10 seconds?
Yeah.
So if a person is giving you week after week, basically statements saying that they're working towards this, there's nothing happening. Because if you're not seeing it, they shouldn't have to be selling it to you, because it's not really that hard to do. It comes back to if the person actually has any intention of doing it or not.
That's true. To me, that sounds a bit like saying, I see that I'm beating up your elephant, but I'm working on not doing it. Like going, well, you're still hitting the elephant. Yeah, but I'm trying really hard to not hit the elephant. Whereas what we want is the other person to say, I recognize that I hurt you. I recognize what your elephant's feeling. And I'm going to work on making sure your elephant isn't feeling threatened by me. And if the elephant is feeling threatened by another person, maybe the problem doesn't lie with our elephant. Maybe the elephant's a bit apprehensive, but maybe the other person actually is behaving in a way that is abusive to our elephant. So sometimes you have to pick sides. And I think that's actually one of the dichotomies is they try to make our rider pick side with them, whereas we should always side with our elephant and dialogue with it and work on it and go to therapy and so on. If we don't side with our elephant is left alone and is neglected and is probably being abused by someone.
Exactly, 100%. Couldn't agree with that more.
Okay, great. Well, that was short addendum. Thank you so much. And so if you haven't seen the long conversation, it's like a long part of, or a lot more of this type of content. I recommend you watch it. I really enjoyed the conversation. Like I said, we just filmed it now and we thought, we should have added this bit. So this is the bit that we missed. Thank you again for watching. Thank you, Josh, for being here and for having this conversation with me.
Thanks, Fred. Really enjoyed it.
See you, Josh. Bye, everyone.